Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We were on stream and it turns out Gaijin have actually added something kind of ridiculous to the game which I didn't see before. And thanks to the guys watching who pointed it out, but it seems like the JF-17 has itself a new armament. This is the PL-6 500 guided bomb. Now, what's interesting, this update, is they're obviously adding the GNSS stuff, right? These satellite guided bombs. So, for example, on the Su-24 here, you have the CAB 500Ss, which are the GNSS ones. You're also getting them for a lot of other vehicles that don't have them right now on the dev server. But as an example of another one, the JDAM, of course, which is coming to some of the Harriers and also other vehicles. Now, the JF-17 bombs are slightly different to these. First of all, they're quite big, and they are 508 kilos with a 325 kilogram mass, and they're also glide bombs, and I'll show you what I mean when we go in there. So you can bring 4 of these. You can still bring more paveways if you want to use that instead, but also the other thing is you get dumb bombs and everything else with this vehicle. But the JF-17 has access to these, which I feel like when we had a look at GNSSs before, we talked about the fact that it goes after stationary targets, right? And it's able to only hit like specific areas, which is great for the vehicle, but it also means that if anything moves around, they can't really do anything. And also, because they're still a bomb, they have to worry about their air resistance, their drag through the air, and how much momentum that they have access to, right? Now, when it comes to these bombs, the PL-6 500s, they are slightly different. By the way, they still haven't added the cockpit for this thing yet, but they do obviously have the targeting pod. The targeting pod, if you didn't know, is one of these, so I think I just chucked a bomb by accident. But it has a thermal targeting pod. So let's say that we want to like hit this area here, right? So we toss one of the bombs, it's going to follow the laser, and this is what it looks like. So as you can see, it is straight up a glide bomb, which is crazy to think about that's been added to the game, because that's something which I feel like in general is, you know, obviously been part of very popular media recently, and for, you know, very unfortunate reasons. But you can see here, let's just launch another one, and it'll go into the target. And this means that the bomb itself has more chance of maneuvering in the air and being able to push itself around. So it should be better at targeting itself onto, you know, the area it needs to. So instead of going too far over or too far, it now has more chance of being able just to pickle barrel the target like that. And also, at the same time, remind people of how insane modern-day warfare is. And so far, at least in the game, it's only on this vehicle, so it's only on the JF-17. But as they talked about with other vehicles, it may still, you know, as a mechanic, come to other places because of the fact that they're trying to expand these things. So this might be something that's key just for the JF-17. Let's see, so this is really close to the target. Usually, if I just threw this in, it wouldn't hit the target because it would fly straight over. But as you can see here, with help with the wings, it is straight up just going bang in. It's nuts. It's crazy how effective these things are going to be in terms of, you know, what they want to do. Now, at the end of the day, once again, they are still just bombs which hit stationary targets, because they're still these satellite guided bombs. So if you're trying to hit a moving one, it's still not going to work. You're going to have to keep the laser on it, right? But even then, since these bombs are able to maneuver a lot better than previously, so let's just set it up over there, and let's like set one like over here, okay? So let's see if this one is able to maneuver itself over to the furthest corner that I sent it. So that's the SPA that was hit. And then, god damn, isn't that just crazy? So the SPA should be getting hit pretty soon by the other ones. Oh, I'm going a bit too fast. Yep, there you go. SPAA was hit. And this one is just... Look how long it's staying in the air. And then, look, it just dips straight down. So when it gets to the target, once it's floated in, bang, boom, and then just goes straight in. How nuts is that? Oh my god. So even if you want to throw this like an absolute mile away, it's just going to float to the area. And then it's just going to, once it gets to where it needs to go, it will then just go straight down and hammer. Which is just nuts to think about. So still, like, the momentum is going to be required from the plane in the first place. But since you don't have to keep a target lock, what you can do with bombs like this is you could just go bang, 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 leave the area, and then they'll all just guide themselves into certain areas. There's just going to be such a ridiculous time where where vehicles are just going to spawn in, like the JF-17, throw these out, and then, you know, they're not going to be able to be dodged, or they're just going to hammer other things. So this one was fired at about 1,000 kilometers an hour, and it isn't going to make its target. So you're probably going to have to go near enough Mach 1 to do it, or at least get close to it. But isn't that just crazy to look at? Isn't it just nuts? Alright, let's try and actually get back on the map here. So right now, in the form of this GNSS stuff, it still is in its infancy, and I would still say that stuff like paveways are a better option. But the problem is with something like this is you can actually smash multiple targets at the same time, right? And that's the key to a bomb like this, where instead of, you can see it just straight corrected straight away with the wings. Wow. But with this, you can hit multiple targets at the same time, and technically they can just glide all over the place. They could glide past hills, they could glide past mountains, they could glide past anything, and then just go in and smash. Oh my god, it's nuts. Well, the modern battlefield is definitely here, isn't it? With modern jets, modern equipment, modern everything else. War Thunder very much is now in the modern age. The only question is how many vehicles will get access to this. Hopefully not too many. There you go, look at them. As always though, hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.